So, tell me something terrible.
Usually he burps a lot.
What? I don't burp a lot. I'm not some savage.
He burps like once at least, but today was an exception.
Tonight has been a vodka and energy drink / 7-Up night.
Lots
and
of
if you ever
bubbles.
had 7-Up, it's designed to make you burp.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
That's on the bottle.
For
It
sure.
says 7-Up designed to make you burp. Trademarked. Hashtag 7-Up.
They need a marketing team.
Do they? Mm-hmm. Remember when they were DNL? When they flipped it upside down?
No.
Okay, well, look. Hey, we found an opening for this. Hi, I'm Scott.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
You can do the...
Oh, and you're listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
Yeah, you are. This is episode 35?
Sure.
But
That's what I wrote on my notes.
It's episode 1 of us trying to do a YouTube video simultaneously with a podcast. So the audio will be fine on the podcast side. Mm-hmm. We have no idea what it'll be like on the YouTube side. Mm-hmm. So for all of you watching...
or it's going to suck real bad and we just lied to you and there will be no YouTube video. Depends.
A distinct possibility.
Yes.
You will notice when we get up to get drink breaks, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I mean, I could edit it out, but this is supposed to be real. You're kind of wearing pants.
I have shorts on.
Yeah, you're fine. Look, you put a real shirt on and everything.
I did. Well, it's because I ate a lot of dinner
we did.
and had lots of White Claws, so I'm feeling bloated. So, hey.
It's 4th of July weekend. America is White Claws and Cornhole. If you didn't do one of those this weekend, you're probably from Canada. Great Britain? When's Canada's Independence Day? Isn't it on the 1st or
yes,
something?
Yes, it is.
Canada Day?
Canada Day, yep.
Yeah. We did have pancakes this week, so we're pretty much celebrating everybody.
Exactly.
We should have tea after this.
Oh, no. Not unless we're going to dump it in the harbor.
Right?
Okay.
I don't like tea anyway. I don't get people who drink tea.
It's because we're American and not British. We're all about that coffee.
That's true.
Okay. So are you ready to officially get started then?
Yes, please.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about something that's super relevant, like still ongoing.
Like, what do you call that? Not topical. Current event.
Current event.
Yes.
Yes.
Current events.
So I'm going to tell you about all the bullshit surrounding Britney Spears' conservatorship.
Oh, hashtag free Britney?
Yes.
I don't actually know how her name's spelled.
Britney.
My headphones are very loud. I could hear you echo them that time.
Oh, no.
No, that's okay. Normally I put them around a table, but this time I just hung them. Hold on. Okay,
better?
we're good. Yeah, I also didn't silence my phone.
Oh, no. I don't even know.
All the behind-the-scenes footage.
Shit.
Hold on. No. Just let it go. Who cares? We're not that popular.
No.
No one will text us.
Oh, mine's already silenced. Look at me go. Fuck people.
Wow. She just chucks it across the room.
Yep. I hit like a certain point that I'm like, if anybody messages me, I can get back to them in the
Also,
morning.
if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on a podcast, either way, we thought about doing this live on Twitch, because we do have a Twitch channel. It's literally called Tell Me Something Terrible. You get to see Tiff chug while I talk too. Let us know, because we thought about doing live on Twitch and or playing, like, we do board game. We literally play board games like every night of the week because we're freaking losers.
We just did it for an hour and a half today.
Yeah, that's how we pregame. Usually we're like, let's play Harry Potter board game and drink, and then once we get a little buzz going, we'll record. But if you would be interested in either us twitching board games, or we both play video games in different amounts.
I don't play video games that often, because if I sit down and play video games, it's going to be a 5-hour ordeal.
I downloaded Phasmophobia just for you, for our Twitch channel, and you've never played the game.
No.
But if you would like to see, like, I play Call of Duty all the time. I could literally stream it, and I'm okay. The guys I play with suck. I'm calling you out, Andy and Kraus, if you listen. They know we're terrible. The three of us collectively are not good. But anyway, if you want to see that, either this kind of live stream, board game live streams, or us playing video games poorly, comment on YouTube, on Facebook, text us if you know us. I'm not going to say your phone number.
No.
But
my phone number is pretty public.
Just, but reach out. Let us know what you think. Because we won't do it if no one will watch, but we will do it if anyone will watch. That's pretty much how desperate we are. Not desperate, but how low the bar.
We will sell our souls.
No,
for
literally,
I would.
Yeah, like we would play a board game on Twitch live stream if someone will comment. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I tell you really horrible shit anyway, and I would have told you all of this shit outside of the podcast,
yeah.
so you might as well just record it.
Well, like, we do this all for free, obviously. Like, we don't have sponsors. You didn't hear an ad before this. We do have patrons, which are awesome, and we try to give them all the free content we can. Speaking of which, the June episode went up on the last day of June.
Squeaked it in there.
Squeaked it in there. But like the Twitch, obviously, YouTube, those are all free mediums, which is why we're going to continue to like push them out if we can. Are you ready to actually do your up? Sorry.
Yes.
All
I'm
the
ready.
shameless plugging.
Yeah. He likes the plugging.
Shamelessly.
Okay. So.
This running joke's really inappropriate, by the way.
Yeah, well, the whole podcast.
Can we just go back to joking about bridges?
Yeah,
Remember
fuck
when
bridges.
that was fun?
They're really scary. So we're going to delve into Britney's conservatorship, which I'm going to slaughter more often than not.
Conservatorship?
Conservatorship.
Hit me with it one more time.
Conservatorship.
That was just the only Britney joke I got. Did you even pick up on it?
Nope.
No? Okay, cool.
Okay, which is a shame. I was a huge Britney Spears fan.
Were you?
My sister still is. So I've known about the like hashtag free Britney stuff for like quite a few years now. And It's not just like, it wasn't something that just popped up last fall. It got popular last fall, but there was a conspiracy theory behind her being like stuck in her home and her dad's being an asshole and they're under this conservatorship.
He's like a cult leader with one follower and it's his daughter.
And she hates him. And anyway, we got to be careful with the slander. So like,
I'm not slandering.
no,
anybody.
but I mean like a lot of this stuff is like verging on like alleged.
I forgot we were visual medium and I ate a Rice Krispie thing. I don't know.
It's delicious.
It's from the gas station and it's literally a peanut butter Rice Krispie covered in chocolate. It's the least diabetic friendly thing in the world.
The air conditioner.
It's hot. What do you want?
It's fine. Okay. So I don't know about this thing for a while now.
It's
And
10 o'clock at night and 86 degrees out.
Yeah.
Yeah, our air conditioner's going to kick on every once in a while. Look, it's already done.
So there were a lot of like people that she would post videos on Instagram and stuff, and she and they would be like, "Oh, hey, if you're stuck in your house or you're trapped or you're
Wear
under this or
yellow
under that,
and all
yeah,
that shit, yeah.
yes, we're yellow. Yeah, I've told you a little bit about it." And then she did it. And
No,
so,
on Barstool Sports, they have the 1 Minute Man who does like current events. That's literally where I get my news from.
Yep. And so, yeah, it's been going on for years. And she didn't start talking about it until like 5 or 6 years in. Anyway, this has been going on since 2008 when she shaved her head. So let's get into it because it's a lot worse and a lot more convoluted than I realized.
You look like you have a lot of pages there too.
Only 4. So let's start with how Britney...
This is our last podcast for the month.
Yep.
She's going to use up all of our hosting time.
No. So let's get started with how Britney got kind of where she is now. We should all know her by now, but in case you've been living under a rock for the last 30 years, let's have a go at her like backstory, shall we? An iconic
Disney pop star. Moving on.
Yeah, Mouseketeers. Yep. So she was an iconic pop star. She started her career off at 11 at the Mickey Mouse Club. Then she released her first album.
Okay.
Which is the Hit Me Baby One More Time. Is it? Yes.
If you're not on, if you're watching on YouTube, that's how I check the levels like every 10 minutes.
Yep. And anyway, that first album went 14 times platinum, and she'd released it at age 16.
Back when people used to buy albums.
And then she was overly sexualized at a young age, and then she released a ton of other hits. And then people got their panties in a bunch when she released I'm a Slave for You, because, she was real sexual about it and stuff. And then she kept having more tons of hits. More tons of hits. It's the limp dick. It keeps falling. Okay. And then she starred in a movie, and then she started an international tour at age 20.
It's not moving.
Yes, it is. And then her and Justin Timberlake had a very bad, very public, because everything was very public for her breakup.
Well, they're like the two most famous people of the 90s.
And everybody wanted to know what Britney Spears was doing. And then there was
Justin Timberlake, you just said so.
And so then there was the cooter shot when she was getting out of a limo. She was like wearing a short white dress, and she'd like stepped out of a limo, and people saw she was wearing no underwear because she's in a white dress, and it blew up, which I don't understand why people were freaking the fuck out, because that year, like, every celebrity that had a vagine flashed it. Paris Hilton, Nikki, whatever the fuck, who was friends with her, like, fucking everybody had a cooter shot.
Yeah, but she was like the most famous person.
Right,
like,
and she was supposed to be like this sweet virgin, even though, like... It's stressful. She's the epitome of what's wrong with American society. Yeah. And so the paparazzis lost their damn minds. And then after all this craziness, she decided to take like a 6-month break, which just caused the paparazzis to lose their collective shits even further, because everyone wanted to know...
Collective shits.
Yes. Everyone wanted to know what she was doing in her downtime. So she couldn't even take a break.
Wearing underwear, probably.
Nothing, probably. And this is kind of when things start to spiral a bit. She admitted she'd lost her V card to Justin Timberlake, and she started smoking and drinking heavily. She got married to her guy friend from school in Vegas, and then it was described by
Federline?
her... No, it was the 2-day marriage. That everybody was like, marriage is supposed to be holy. It was her friend. Her name was Jason something. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. So they got married in Vegas. It was described by her management team that her dad had been on since she was 13 years old. It was a joke that went too far, and it was annulled after 2 days. And then she made out with Madonna on live television during a performance of Like a Virgin.
It sounded like an award show, right?
Yeah, it was like the MTV
Grammys
Awards. Yeah, no, not that big. It was like the MTV Awards.
Whatever.
And then she
They're all
married.
the same.
And then she married Kevin Federline. Yep. And
I was waiting for you to say Kevin Bacon. I was like, wait, what?
no, K-Fed in 2004 in secret, and then they wound up having 2 sons. And then K-Fed and Britney got a divorce in 2007, and because Kevin Federline sucks, he's an asshole. So this all leads up to 2008 when Britney had her very public, very sad mental breakdown. She was being hounded by paparazzi, and there were photos of her just walking into a barbershop and shaving her entire head. When asked why, she said that she was sick of everyone plugging things into it and touching her, so she cut it off.
Plugging things into it?
Hair extensions, yo.
Oh.
Yeah, and like curling irons and doing it because she couldn't leave the house without getting her hair done. Everybody was touching her hair constantly, so she was like, "Fuck it, I'm shaving it."
I just went to like the Matrix where they plug the thing into the back, of your head. Yeah, and like you're born in that weird egg sack thing. Yeah,
not quite. No,
I understand, but I was like, maybe that's how they were brainwashing her. They were just plugging into the back of her head, like
nah. They've used actual drugs to like beat her down.
Well, it's more modern. Present day? When's the Matrix set? In the future?
20 years ago is when it came out. But yeah, it was
probably set for like now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and then walks in her father, Jamie Spears.
Well, he's been there.
Yeah, but now he really takes control. Britney Spears was put under a temporary conservatorship in February of 2008. So
Keyword temporary.
Temporary. Conservatorships are when a judge appoints a responsible person or organization, the conservator, to care for another adult, the conservatee, who cannot care for themselves or manage his or her own finances. The conservatorship was put in place because the month prior, Britney was taken to the UCLA Medical Center and placed on psychiatric hold for mental evaluation twice, once on January 1st and again on January 31st, after she refused to relinquish custody of her children to Kevin. So she literally didn't want to give up her kids, so they put her in a mental institution.
Some guy who's...
trash?
Well, as equally unqualified probably to raise children as her.
Yeah.
At the very least. Yeah.
Yep. And so... so her father and her lawyer, Andrew Wallet, were dubbed co-conservators in February of 2008. And in July, the court extends...
Her dad and her lawyer?
Yes.
Is he still part of it now?
He tried to be.
Okay.
It's complicated. We'll get to it.
I never heard the lawyer half is all.
Yeah, no, it gets worse. Just wait.
Terrific.
So they were dubbed...
I mean, this is telling me something terrible. I didn't expect this. I mean, I know how this kind of ends, or doesn't end.
Doesn't end.
Yeah.
So they were dubbed the co-conservators in February 2008, and in July the court extended the conservatorship through the end of the year. And then in October, it was extended indefinitely.
When wasn't there like a famous like meme, not meme, but like the like leave her alone thing? Like leave Britney
that was Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton. He was a Perez, yeah, Perez Hilton. Yeah,
like
he was.
Leave her
that
alone?
was like, oh my god, that was when she had her mental breakdown right at the beginning. That hair was attached.
Still attached.
Don't touch it. My hair's fragile. So it was extended indefinitely because of the, quote, complexity of financial and business entities and her being susceptible to fraud and undue influence.
Okay.
Yep. So in 2000...
So her dad was just worried she was going to blow her money and he wasn't going to get his cut.
Yeah.
Primarily.
And his cut is $16,000 a week.
That's pretty good money.
Mm-hmm. Hers is $2,000.
$16,000 a week?
Yeah. And she's worth...
So that's about $1 million a year?
She's worth $60 million.
Just shy of $1 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in 2012, Britney's, like at the time, fiance, who was also a former agent, is then approved by a judge to be a co-conservator as well. He isn't approved to make any financial decisions, just the personal ones. And then in 2016, Britney finally mentions her conservatorships for the first time publicly in an interview. And then in January
Was
19...
it with Oprah? I feel like it's always
No,
with Oprah.
it was like some like FX show. So in January 2019...
That's anticlimactic.
I know. Sorry. Well, it's because they were keeping it under wraps. Her dad took anything that was taken to court, anything that was gone to a hearing, he made sure that every document was sealed. He didn't want anybody knowing shit.
Knowing anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No one knew anything, which is why you started getting conspiracy theories.
Yep. And weird cryptic messages from Britney herself.
Mm-hmm. And so then... in 2019, she announces an indefinite hiatus from her Vegas residency tour because her father, the one making all of her financial and personal and health decisions for her, was sick because he's an alcoholic.
He was sick, so
he was
canceled
sick
her tour?
because he was a drunk. He was directly sick because his alcoholism was so bad.
Whoa, let's not go judging people too hard.
I don't care. No, okay. My problem. Go ahead, drink. I get it, bro.
No, it's a joke.
2020 was hard.
Yeah,
but like you can't.
This is 19. He's got no excuse.
Yeah, well, not just that, but like you can't be like I need to be financially and like medically in charge of your decision because
when I can't even
you're not.
handle
Yeah, when
my
I can't
liquor.
handle my own shit.
Yeah,
piss off.
Piss off.
It's bad. So that's right. During all of this time that her life was being controlled, she had done a 4-year Vegas residency that had
I'm betting
reportedly
those pay pretty well too.
$138 million. It raked in
Per year or
138
for the
total
4 years?
for the 4 years, $138 million.
Yeah, that's decent.
Yep. Oh, and she had released 4 albums and served as a judge on the X Factor and American Idol. Even though she was incapable of being a functioning cognitive human being.
Okay.
And someone else had to make her decisions for her.
So she's making
Bank.
millions and millions a year.
Yep. And then that following March, her lawyer Andrew Wallet resigns as a co-conspirator. And then in April 2019, Britney is checked into a 30-day program at a mental health center, telling her fans that she's taking some me time. Mm-hmm. So this incident. A lot of followers of the Free Britney movement, they think that this was done against Britney's free will. I don't
think she's completely 100% like mentally stable. I don't. I think she's being exploited, but I think she also needs help. Like there's a middle ground
and
somewhere.
This is not the way to do it.
No.
Just wait till you find out what her psychologist does to her.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think she should not have a conservatorship, but I do think she probably does need help with, like, mental health issues, which most people do. And she's in the public eye, so that's just exasperated even worse.
Yeah.
But I think it's somewhere in between, obviously, not like this crazy extreme
and
side of it.
that's the point that she's trying to make.
Yeah.
And then the conservatorship is so fucked that there's no way. Like, it's so bad. Just wait. It gets so bad.
Oh, great. I'm
and
excited.
So Jamie,
I need more alcohol, probably.
So Jamie Spears temporarily steps down from his conservator role in 2019, citing...
Didn't she have like a sister or something that
she
got
did.
Popular for a hot second?
No, yeah, and her sister's name's also Jamie.
That's why, when you said that, I was like, isn't that like a
narcissistic move? Yeah. So...
Is her name James? It's just
his name is James, and her name is Jamie.
Just Jamie.
Mm-hmm. Jamie Lynn.
Jamie's... Sorry, is there a long version of like girl Jamie's? Is her name like?
No, it's just Jamie.
Okay, that's boring. Sorry, girl Jamie's.
We know a girl Jamie.
We know you.
So he cited personal health reasons, and then he appointed Jody Montgomery, who's
She sounds white and with big hair.
She's.
I'm gonna look her up. I bet you she's white with big hair.
Okay, so she's a.
If you're watching YouTube, a picture will pop up of her right now.
She's a fiduciary care manager
Fiduciary?
Fiduciary? I don't know. I think
Jody
I spelled it wrong.
Montgomery? Was that her name?
Yep. So she's from a third-party wealth management company named Bessemer Trust Company. So Jody was directed by Jamie to restrict and limit visitors by all means, except for Britney's court-appointed lawyer
Our
named
cat
Samuel
wants out of our
Ingham.
room. She is white, but she does not have big hair.
No. So on top of restricting her visitors, the conservatorship also, above dictating any of her financial and personal decisions, the conservator in Britney's case is allowed to restrict the visitors, decide when and where she works. They select her 24-hour 7-day-a-week caregivers, security guards, and has the power to communicate with her doctors and have access to all of her medical records and her medical treatments. Oh, and
so she's treated like a 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm. They also get to dictate when she gets to see her 2 sons because she was no longer...
What?
Yeah.
That's majorly fucked up.
Mm-hmm. She was no longer allowed to have custody of her children. Kevin Federline has custody of her children instead.
Okay, that's severely messed
Yep,
up.
they were she has no visitation rights. It's super restricted.
So it's a prison.
Yeah.
It's prison.
Yep. So in August of 2020, her conservatorship was extended through the end of the following year. So at this time, she had full bodily autonomy removed from her for the past 12 years, and Britney's lawyer had filed a motion expressing Britney's quote-unquote wishes to have her father continue his conservatorship, describing her conservatorship.
I should have put a conservatorship counter up on the
So they described her conservatorship as having 3 phases. The initial triage phase, which is like when she first shaved her
like
head.
Pre-op or something?
Triage is like emergency.
What does triage mean?
Emergency.
Really?
Like there's
no
fucking
3
now.
in it? It's
like this needs to happen right now kind of thing. So her first was like when she had her
ASAP?
mental breakdown. And so they were like, this is the thing that saved her from certain doom. And then their second phase is her performing
he seems
period.
Doomed. Sorry, we don't get many callbacks on this podcast.
So her second phase was her performing period. So that's when she was like, working in Vegas, creating 4 albums, working as a judge.
Just making bank.
And but with this third phase, her needs have changed. And another fun fact, all of the records from all the times that Britney and the conservatorship had gone in front of the judge, they had been sealed. Like I said earlier, her father made sure nobody knew anything.
It's and like it's a
all of this is from her court-appointed lawyer, by the way.
And not Wallet anymore?
No, Wallet had already left.
Yeah,
so she had a different court-appointed, so she doesn't even get to choose her own lawyer.
Oh, well, why would she? She's a 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, they've all been sealed.
This
her
is
father
where
was
Ryan's
adamant
going,
about it.
The Ryan kid off of YouTube.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He should have a conservatorship because he
probably does.
Yeah.
Like in
because he's like 8.
Oh my fucking!
He's not a 30-year-old with
Ryan's
multiple children.
So
I know,
much.
but listen, at least it makes sense. This is a grown-ass woman with children and makes millions of dollars.
She's 39 years old at this point.
39?
Mm-hmm.
We're getting old.
Yeah.
God, 39.
Yeah.
We should throw a big over-the-hill Britney party next year.
She is smoking hot,
do you want to
do
that at our 40th birthday?
On our 40th birthday?
On hers.
On hers?
Yeah, have like a big over-the-hill Britney party and just play her soundtracks.
Yes.
And wear black and shave our... No, just kidding.
I mean, like, I won't mind shaving my head. I could just take the extensions out.
Mine's pretty much there. Yeah.
So all of this kind of comes to a head when Britney Spears herself files a motion to prevent the lawyer that was mentioned earlier, Wallet, becoming a co-conservator again. So he'd left and he wanted to come back, and she was like, nope.
Yeah.
No. And so she argues that the public ought to know what has happened to her over the past 12 years. So this brings us to October 2020. Her own lawyer says in court that Britney is incapable to sign any document declaring her wishes to end the conservatorship, comparing her to a comatose person.
Okay, that seems like a leap.
Yeah.
This living, breathing, thinking person, regardless of what her mental health past is,
doesn't matter.
Is not in a coma.
No.
She literally should commit like a felony just to go to prison and have some rights.
Yes, she literally, her Vegas residency, she choreographed the whole fucking thing. She taught 16 different dancers the moves. She wrote it. She directed it. Mm-hmm. But she's near comatose. Piss off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so mad. As I was reading it, I just got madder and madder. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Normally you get mad at like a murderer or whatever, or like some corporate asshole. I guess that's kind of a corporate asshole. Yeah, you're pretty much, deal.
So
it's
a
like
month,
a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. But one poor
just
person.
taking advantage of one person instead of a pyramid scheme where you're taking advantage of like a ton of people.
So a month later, a new court order was made in November requesting the immediate removal of her father as the conservator of her estate, asking the Bessemer Trust to take over her estate in his stead.
The who?
The Bessemer, the one with Jody.
Okay.
Yeah. She works for the Bessemer Trust Company. Jodie Montgomery.
Okay.
Okay.
Her hair wasn't as big as I wanted.
Oh, sorry.
She had
you were
highlights,
expecting
though.
You were expecting like the Coke bottle
Yeah,
curl bangs
yeah.
and like
no,
the
but she
flip,
did have
the-
she did have like the brown hair with the blonde highlights. So she peaked in the 90s too.
Yep. Oh,
Oh.
Britney didn't peak in the 90s. She peaked in the early 2000s.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
We're not that old.
Hashtag class of 06.
So in November,
Not you. You were 07.
yeah, close enough. So in November of 2020, Britney flat out.
Sorry. Can you see that if you move your head?
Oh.
Yep. That's our dog just being a complete spaz. There she goes. Just itch it. All right. Anyway.
Something must
This is
have died
what we
there.
deal with every podcast. We recorded this one just so you can see. I don't edit out like our mistakes because I just keep all those. But when this kind of crap goes on, look at her. Yeah. And the cat's just chilling. Anyway, this is what we deal with on a podcast, like a regular basis. The bird's being quiet though. So hey.
She's being very well behaved. So in November of 2020, Britney flat out told the court that she will no longer perform out of fear of her dad. Britney's lawyer, Ingham, finally got his shit together and told the judge that she will not resume her career if her father still has control over it. In February 2021, the court is reminded that Britney wants to end her conservatorship. And then in response, in March, Jamie Spears says, quote, he would love nothing more than to see Britney not need a conservatorship. Whether or not there is an end to the conservatorship really depends on Britney. If she wants to end her conservatorship, she can file a petition to end it. Except since she is in the conservatorship.
File a petition? Does she need signatures? How does that work?
You have to have a lawyer. And she can't have her own lawyer because she's in a conservatorship.
That's fun.
Yep.
Her dad's going to show up missing one of these days.
Oh, wouldn't that be a bummer?
I mean,
Guys.
we don't promote anything here, but I'm just saying.
But if you know somebody.
No. No. Hard no.
No, there's a lot of other people that are like pushing for that. Like
It's a hard no there, bub.
we're a tiny fish in a big pond of people that are like free Britney.
We're not even a fish. We're a minnow.
We are.
We're like one of those egg sacs.
Yes, just some roe. That
We're
got
a sack
squirted
of
out.
free Britney.
So
Some roe? Oh, because that's like...
that's fish eggs.
Yeah, what's the...
Sperm.
No. What's the fish eggs you eat?
Roe.
No.
Salmon. They're usually
No.
salmon.
What is it?
Caviar.
Caviar.
Got
All I could
there.
think of was calamari, and I'm like, that's not it.
That's not it. Also equally as disgusting.
Fried calamari's fine. I've never had caviar because we grew up here.
And we're poor.
Well, yeah.
Well, we're not that poor, but we're poor enough to not be able
We
to
grew
afford
up poor, and we grew up in like inland Michigan. Where are we gonna get caviar?
We eat catfish and fried potatoes. That's as fancy as you
that's
get.
a solid dinner. I don't care what you say. It's probably what we're having tomorrow.
What is tomorrow?
Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
Oh, nah.
It'll be whitefish tacos.
Wednesday will be catfish
Tilapia.
and yeah. And finally in June, the court documents obtained by the New York Times revealed that Britney has quietly been advocating for the end of her conservatorship for years.
Quietly, like cryptically.
Yeah, because she
On
can't fucking say
the
anything.
YouTube or the Instagram.
And like,
Do you follow her on Instagram or any social media?
No, but my sister does.
Really?
Yeah,
On
I told
Instagram?
you. Yes, she's a
Your
big
sister has
fan.
an Instagram?
She said she follows her on Instagram.
Maybe on Facebook.
If my sister has an Instagram, we're not. I don't think we follow each other. This beach.
She just has an Instagram and she only
Just
follows
follows
Britney.
Britney.
She's like, I'm just here for the Britney drama. She's got 1,000 followers. Just hashtag free Britney. Just she secretly is pushing the movement single handedly. Keep going with your story, lady.
That'd be a fun. Like my sister's so quiet. That'd be a fun alternative
She
life.
spends all her days
Yeah.
just trying to free Britney.
It's exhausting. So in her June 23rd, I think it was 23rd, 2021 statement, Britney finally gets to reveal to the world.
Okay, that's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I told you, super recent. So she finally
Hashtag
gets to
current events.
Yep. So I almost said hashtag Jesus Christ.
You almost said hashtag Jesus Christ. I'm going to do that on this tweet, by the way. When we tweet out this episode, hashtag free Britney.
Jesus Christ.
Hashtag Jesus Christ. We'll probably open ourselves up to a whole new branch of listeners.
Be a lot of
You
strangers.
doubt me. Give me your pen. I'm writing that down.
We're gonna have a lot of strangers praying for our souls.
Hashtag free Britney, however you friggin' spell that, and hashtag JC. Sorry. As you were.
We're going to hell.
Normally have my own paper, but our normal podcasting table is covered in a board game because we didn't finish it.
Yep.
So we're on
It's been 3 days.
We're on a painting table.
So here are some quotes and descriptions of how her life has been for the last 13 years. She compares it to sex trafficking, saying
sex. Okay,
trafficking.
I was expecting
Yeah.
prison, not sex trafficking. Okay.
No, because she's been forced to work when she didn't want to with her tours and shit.
Okay.
So,
But she wasn't like prostituted out.
no, she
Okay.
wasn't prostituted out, but it was for, instead of sex, it was still like
Yeah,
entertainment,
yeah. No, I
writing
understand.
songs and doing like,
And it
yeah.
was, and I mean, an element of that is her image and her body, like 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll get to that too. So she's saying that there was forced labor, forced medical treatments, improper medical
If her
care.
conservatorship ends, that album afterwards is going to be so angry.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I don't think it's going to be lit,
It's
brah.
gonna be like the
I think it's gonna be
pop punk
traumatic as
version.
shit.
Yeah, it will be super traumatic.
Yeah.
I will probably love it because
People
it'll,
think
it'll
Olivia
slam
Rodrigo is
together.
like angsty and like, no, this is going to be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's gonna be like both of my favorite things where I'm gonna get that like 1990s like pop music like and then the angry chick vibe and then probably like some punk pop music all crammed together and I'm just gonna be living my best life and then I'll be really depressed thinking about Britney's
Maybe she'll be living
conservatorship.
her best life now.
She probably will be.
Anyway, if it ever ends.
So there was forced medical treatments, improper medical care, and limitations on personal rights. She wasn't allowed to choose the color of her own kitchen cabinets.
I didn't say anything the bird did.
Oh,
I made no.
I know, right? Awful. Could you imagine? No, bitch, I don't want pink cabinets.
Natural colored wood.
Ugh. So she hasn't been allowed to decide when she wants to have a family again. She has had an IUD implanted. They refuse to let her remove it. She hasn't been allowed to get married. She hasn't been allowed to start a family again. She hasn't been allowed to have babies because, again, it's her body. They're like, nah, you got to stay skinny forever. And then she was forced under threat of getting sued by her own management team, a.k.a. her father, to go on tour and then while she was on tour, rehearsing and writing and choreographing.
No, what was it again?
Nope. Not going to do it.
She was choreographing.
She was choreographing and directing her own show. The team told her...
That's when you put an XY axis on my stomach. That's choreographing. No?
No.
That's like a math joke. Come on now.
That's why.
Aren't
God, love you. She was also directing her own show. The team told her psychiatrist, so it wasn't even just a therapist, her psychiatrist, that she wasn't cooperating in rehearsals or taking her medication. So the next day, the therapist asked her why. And Britney said that it was a lie. How could she not be taking her meds? The same woman that had been bringing her meds in the last 8 years was still bringing her medication, and she was taking them every day. These were the same meds she's been on for the last 5 years. So the next day after that, her psychiatrist prescribed her lithium.
Oh, okay.
So when you're like, she hasn't been brainwashed.
Okay, so they went straight to the strong stuff. Does that injection only, or do you get a tablet?
No, it's a tablet. It's a heavy metal, and it's something you're not supposed to take more than like 5 or 6 months at a time, or it can ruin your brain and your body. Yeah, and so it affected her.
Mercury next.
It affected her so much that she had to have 6 different nurses watching her around the clock because she felt like she was drunk.
That's fun.
Yeah. And that 30-day mental health program, after a different psychologist had came in and did a psych test for 4 hours for like multiple days and days on end, Britney's dad called her to tell her that she had failed that test and that she was required to the team was required to send her to like this small home that had cost her $60,000 a month. And that was where she had zero privacy. There was the nurses, the cook, the doctors, they all lived in the home with her, where she had worked 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, working on her tour, and like albums and writing. And anyway, and she didn't even have a door on her bedroom. There was zero privacy. Yep.
That's creepy.
And after all this, she thinks that her father and her team should be in jail. She wants to sue them all. And she says, I'm scared of people. I don't trust people with all that I've been through. And then she says that she has trapped phobias from all of the time that she's been in counseling.
Trapped?
Like claustrophobia. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Like smothered to death.
Described it
She's
as
literally
like
been
trap
smothered to
phobias.
death. Yeah.
And like she's just from being in like these tiny little rooms with her psychiatrist, who clearly was put in a position to try to manipulate her.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's got
Did not have her best interest in mind.
No, not at all. She had her dad's best interest. So
Jamie.
Britney says. So she has a, quote, laundry list of grievances against her father and her team, including his alcoholism. And because he had to step down in 2019 from getting so ill from from his own drinking problem.
Yeah.
And so after all of this, the judge still decided to keep the conservatorship in place, with her father as the conservator, after Jamie Spears had filed a petition to investigate the claims that Spears had made. He vehemently denying that any of them were true, and that he only has his daughter's best interest at heart. And so the plan was for Jamie to no longer be the conservator. Mm-hmm. Jody Montgomery and the Bessemer Trust were supposed to be her conservators.
Yeah.
And then on July 1st, like 5 days ago, Bessemer Trust requested to resign from the conservatorship due to changed circumstances, stating that Britney's disdain for the abusive agreement in her court hearing, and that they were under the impression when they first took the conservatorship, like co-conservatorship, that Britney had voluntarily gone under the conservatorship, and
that she wasn't forced.
Yeah, and that they were surprised to see her desire for it to end. And it's still in place and still her father.
It feels like a reasonable judge would be like, hey, let's take you off of her 6 months and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, let's let you be an adult.
No, it's been extended, I think, until the end of this year. And then there's also a couple of state legislators. Actually, I think one's a Republican and one's a Democrat. I can't remember. I didn't write the name, so it doesn't really matter. They want to look into not just Britney's case, but other people that could be abused from this like archaic, fucked up system, and how many people like could possibly.
This goes back to like when you could take your wife to an insane asylum and be like, "She's a bitch," and drop her off, and they would just admit her.
Yeah,
it's like they have no say because they are an inferior human, and you just have to accept that they are not stable.
Except this time, there's millions of dollars involved,
and someone's life, and like rights and freedom and shit.
Yeah.
So that definitely is terrible.
Yep. Sorry, this wasn't that funny.
No, I mean, it's current.
That doesn't mean it's not funny.
It's a different vibe. No one's died yet.
I mean, her first psychiatrist that prescribed her lithium wound up dying eventually, but that was like natural causes. She said when he died, she like hit the ground to her knees and thanked God that he had died.
That's not messed up at all. Mm-mm. So I'm going to go follow Britney on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. I meant to last night, and then we were drunk and I forgot.
Hashtag free Britney. Mm-hmm. Hashtag it was 4th of July and we had all the White Claws. And the cornhole.
And the Vizzies.
Vizzies with their vitamin C and weird superfruit.
Ah, they're delicious.
Sponsored by. Just kidding. But anyway, so...
Right. Oh, sources real quick.
So I
used imbd.com, billboard.com.
URBD?
Yes. MyMBD. Billboard.com, which they have that great timeline article that like broke down like every single month, even today's things that have happened.
It's probably not hard to find articles on this presently.
No, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't have to use Wikipedia at all.
Wikipedia.
And then there was another article from Billboard.com that went over like the biggest takeaways from her conservatorship hearing, which her, by the way, speech was 24 minutes long that she gave at
court.
Yeah, at the court hearing. And then on also NPR and Vanity.com.
Nice.
I couldn't find any reason why the judge decided to keep
continue.
The conservatorship.
Yeah, I know you said that was like.
I tried to find it. I read through like 3 or 4 articles and I didn't find anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was terrible. Mm-hmm. And we did record and release the video today for the giveaway.
We did.
The winners were Todd Long and Julie Rodriguez.
Yes.
Not Julia. Julie.
I think it was just Julie.
Okay. So if you haven't seen that video and you're listening to this, congratulations, you won. So we'll be reaching out to them via social media.
Yes.
So is that what you got?
Yep.
All right.
Everything's been shamelessly plugged?
Thoroughly.
Okay.
Vigorously.
Yes.
All right. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.
Oof, that was terrible.